honor of National Licorice Day, which I love, we found the cute shop right here in Guthrie. That will have you feeling like a kid in a candy shop.
Well, guys, I think I found my one-stop spot when it comes to not only licorice, but candy from the current times as well as candy from my childhood. It's a place called the Licorice Man, and it's in Guthrie, and I'm pleased to be joined by the owner, Miss Cherie. And Miss Cherie, this place has everything you need when it comes to your sweet tooth and candy. Tell me about the focus on so much licorice.
Well, we've owned this store for almost 28 years. Started out as an art gallery, but I always carried licorice because my husband is a licorice fanatic, a real gourmet of licorice. So we decided to start carrying licorice even though it was a gallery, and had such great response with it that when we changed to a candy store, it made sense to keep the name Licorice Man. We get licorice literally from all over the world, and we get a lot of our customers' favorites in.
Okay, now when it comes to licorice, if you ask for a certain flavor and somebody says, well, do you want strawberry? Do you want green apple? A lot of real licorice connoisseurs will say, that's not licorice.
It is not.
All the licorice has to start with the black base, and tell me why so.
Well, because real licorice has licorice in it, and most of your flavored licorice has no licorice in it. So the only reason I can think of that it's called licorice is that possibly because it's extruded in the same way. So companies call it licorice so people understand the texture of it, but it's really not licorice at all.
And now you say this licorice, a lot of it is imported from not only around the country, but around the world. What is your most exotic licorice?
We have so many. Salty licorice is unusual. A lot of Americans aren't used to salty licorice. So that's one of the things that we have that's very unusual. We have the ape heads, which is banana and licorice, which is also unusual. And the United States is not known for making great licorice, unfortunately. That's why most of our licorice is imported. We have a few that are good, but it's not commonly loved here as it is in other countries.
Okay, now it started with licorice, but then it just exploded with all the candies and the taffies. And tell me about some of the biggest requests and some of your featured items that you have here.
Well, we carry a lot of nostalgia candy. We go by customer requests on that. When someone's looking for something, we try to find it. Sometimes it's impossible, but often I can find a company that still makes it. It is so much fun to see people, their faces just light up when they remember something from childhood.
And you still have the gum that's the cigarette, to where you can even have the sugary smoke come out of it.
Absolutely, and we haven't been protested yet. It's really fun. The funniest story I have was from a lady that came in with her grandson. He was probably about 6. She bought him a ginger beer and a pack of candy cigarettes, and she told him to write this down. This is the last time your grandmother will buy you a pack of cigarettes and a beer.
Now, when it comes to your taffy, there's no shortage of flavors. What are some of your most favorite flavors of taffy that you have on hand?
The best-selling flavor is banana. Second best-selling probably is pickle, which is hilarious because it's pretty disgusting. But people love it. People everything pickle right now. But we have some great flavors, and everybody has their favorites.
One of my favorites is the eggnog, and I saw that they have the pumpkin pie. Is it pumpkin spice?
Pumpkin pie.
The pumpkin pie taffy, no shortage of taking care of your sweet tooth. And when it comes to the sodas, you also have one that folks grew up to. When I'm talking about folks, I mean my grandparents grew up on this. Tell me about this special edition of a soda that you have.
Well, we have, the most unusual we have probably is Moxie, which isn't found often in this part of the world, in this part of the U.S. It's made in the Northeast, originally in Maine, in that area. They actually have a museum there about it. It's a very odd soda in that it's flavored with gentian root, which, like licorice, was a medicine, during those times. So it's very unusual in flavor, but a lot of people love it. Kids seem to love it, which is very funny to me because it's kind of a medicine-tasting drink.
Amazing. So if kids love medicine and love the taste of soda, it's that.
They'll love it.
Anybody from the 80s is like, oh, I remember Moxies. Well, listen, we have you covered from the licorice to the taffy and the currant candy, and even have some of your favorite old school nostalgic sodas. It's all right here at the Licorice Man. So if you're ever in Guthrie, make sure to take a trip, come on up, and you're walking away with a duffel bag full of these treats.